Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing a follow-up video after about 9 days with the Samsung Galaxy A21. Now this is the straight talk variant. I picked this up on Black Friday for $99, and as of today, Wednesday, December the 2nd, it is still $99 on Walmart.com. Now in-store prices may be different, but I know online it's still $99, so if you're interested in picking this phone up, you may want to grab it before the sale goes off. Not really sure when that's going to be, but you never know. So, today, I'm just going to go over a few things about the phone, how I feel about the phone so far, and I may play a game. I got a couple of photos I may show, stuff like that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, this phone is made of plastic. Of course, the frame, the back of the phone is plastic with a glass screen here. Now, the phone has been a pretty good experience. I've not really had any issue with the performance of the phone. This phone runs the MediaTek Helio P35 processor. It does only have 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of onboard storage. I know the unlocked versions have different variants, including this spec variant. They have a 4 gig, I think, and a 128 gig, 64 gig. I mean, you have to get online and kind of research it yourself, but of course, this is the lower end variant. Yeah, this phone has been pretty solid since I have been using it. Now, I did make mention, in my unboxing, and I did get trolled a little bit because my hands ain't, ginormous, about, the fingerprint scanner being a little bit high, as well as the volume buttons being kind of high on the phone. I'm meaning that for anybody, male or female, if you got smaller hands, that it might be a little bit difficult to reach, and I still stand by that. But still, honestly, I mean, just there you go, boom. No, it's really no big deal, to be honest. And depending on what hand you are, I'm left-handed, so of course, being on the right side, it's more of a stretch than if it's on the left. But anyway, kind of beside the point there. So just giving you a heads up, 20:9 aspect ratio, so it's a bit taller, more narrow, but it's nothing really to be concerned about, honestly. I mean, it's just, it is where it is, and it works every time, though. I mean, the fingerprint scanner works great. It ain't the fastest on in the world, but it does a good job. It also has face unlock, which you can see right there. Does work pretty decent. I mean, it's not the fastest either, but it does work and does work fine. Now, the display on this phone is a 6.5-inch IPS LCD 720 by 1600 display with 270 pixels per inch. Like I said, 20:9 aspect ratio. This phone also does run Android 10. I'm not sure if it'll get Android 11. I have no idea about that. Now, it does have that quad camera setup here on the rear, and it does kind of bulge out there a little bit, as you can see, and it didn't come with a case, so case should take care of that issue back there on the back. And it's very easy to collect dust around this here when you lay the phone down. But this here, with this kind of plastic on the back, it does attract dust quite easily. I'm sitting here right now just kind of wiping the dust off because it does seem to collect dust, and it's like a magnet for dust. But that's what a lot of these kind of plastic phones and the way these things here are made. Now, also, I want to make clear that unboxings are not reviews, okay? Unboxings, first impressions, are you just opening the phone and going through the settings and the specs for the first time. A review is something that you've actually used for a little while, and you got some comments on it, on what you recommend or don't recommend, stuff like that. So don't get reviews confused with unboxings, all right? Now, as far as the quad camera setup here on the rear, we have a 16 megapixel wide-angle lens, aperture of f1.8, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens at f2.2, a 2 megapixel macro lens at f2.4, and 2 megapixel depth sensor at an aperture of f2.4 as well, with a 13 megapixel camera that is wide lens with f2.2, both recording full 1080 30 frames per second front and rear. So right now, I'm going to show you a couple of photos that I did take. One is in just a normal regular wide lens. One is with the ultra wide lens. And you're going to also see in the house here of a selfie photo and a selfie video at 1080p. Let's go ahead and check that out now. Okay, so here is the front-facing video sample of the Samsung Galaxy A21, full 1080p 30 frames per second, and the audio is from the device. Now, I do have a ring light in behind the phone that's shining at me. It's pretty bright, so I got it set to a warmer tone, but for some reason I'm still kind of, I'm too white, honestly. It should be more warmer than it is, but of course, when you're outside, the quality is going to be different. And of course, your quality is always going to look different depending on what lighting you're in. So, this is just my little front-facing video sample here. I got about 7 or 8 more phones to do just like this. So, if you see me in the same shirt and the same hat, that's why. I got about 7 phones right here in front of me that I got to do the same exact front-facing video sample like this on for future videos for them phones. So, yeah. But anyway, this is the Galaxy A21's front-facing camera at full 1080. Let me know below what you think in the comments. Okay, so there you have it. You can kind of, decide for yourself what you think of the video, the photos, and all that kind of stuff. Of course, the quality will vary depending on your lighting and all that kind of good stuff. Indoors, outdoors, all that kind of good stuff. So, let's go ahead and go to the phone here. Now, like I said, I did download Asphalt 9, PUBG, Call of Duty. I do plan on doing some speed test comparisons with this device. So let's go ahead right now and look at the gaming. We'll go ahead and load up Asphalt 9. So it's loaded up here. Got my car of choice. We'll go ahead right now and do this race. Turn the volume down just a little bit. Now this does have one mono firing speaker, but it does sound pretty good. No complaints really with the sound quality out of the bottom firing speaker. Listening to watching videos, nothing like that. It does sound pretty good. So this is set at default setting, not high performance, not nothing like that. It's default setting. Just power it up and go. So waiting for it to load up here. This is the first time I've actually played this game on this phone. So let's go ahead and see how smooth or how choppy it is. Like I said, a Helio P35 processor. A little bit choppy so far. Excuse the volume if it's too loud, I do apologize. So once you're in the game, it appears that it does run pretty smooth. I mean, other than the little startup being some hiccups, I'm not really seeing just a few little drop frames here and there. We'll go ahead and finish this race out here and see if I can come in first place. So yeah, I mean, other than the startup being just a little bit choppy, as you've seen, the actual gameplay did seem to be pretty good, actually, without really many issues whatsoever. So yeah, that's Asphalt 9. Okay, so back here now at the home screen, I will do some more gaming tests. If y'all want to see the other games I have downloaded for gaming, leave it down below in the comment section, and I'll do that video as well. Right now, just testing out one game to show you how it looks. So, yeah, leave it down below if you want to see more. Now, like I mentioned about the bottom firing speaker, for this phone here costing around $250, maybe a bit more depending on where you buy this phone from, it's kind of amazing to me why Samsung is still using only mono speakers in their phones. I mean, the A50 was like over $300, had a mono speaker that sounded horrible. The A21 does sound better than the A50 in my personal opinion, but shouldn't they be using stereo speakers by now? I mean, there's been phones cheaper than this with stereo speakers. And Samsung just elects to keep a mono firing speaker, which honestly, I'm not really understanding why. Because it would sound a whole lot better, of course, as you know, with dual stereo speakers, instead of charging you an arm and a leg for this phone here with honestly kind of low specs for what you're paying, and not giving you stereo speakers, nothing like that here on the phone. That's just kind of a gripe of mine. I think that here in 2020, that phones that cost $300 or close to it should be having stereo speakers on their phones. That's just my personal opinion. Now, like I said, this phone does run Android 10. We'll go in here right now and verify that. And you can see Android version 10 was One UI Core version 2.1. This is running October 1st, 2020 security patch. Now this phone, like I say, this phone actually works pretty well. Now, just showing you some of the basic features of the phone. Here is the phone dialer, just your typical standard phone dialer, nothing exciting here. Go into the messages, and we will start up a new message. And looking here at the keyboard, typical keyboard. I think it's a Samsung keyboard, which is a nice looking keyboard, but you got all of your emojis here as well. So plenty of emojis here. Yeah, to choose from, so no problems there whatsoever. Transitions seem smooth. Got Bixby over here, which I never use Bixby. Now, I know I didn't show you the camera samples and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go to the camera here for a little bit and just kind of show you what you can expect here as far as features go in the camera. So you have your normal mode. You have your wide angle lens there. You got live focus. You got video. You got more over here for your panorama, pro mode, food, and macro shots. I kind of like macro shots in a way. I know some don't care about them, but personally, I kind of like taking those macro shots here every once in a while. Now, here in video, I'm going to the settings here. Got your video size. Front and rear is full 1080, max resolution, and that's about it. You got shoot methods here, which is just, you can show your palm to the camera to take a picture automatically, which is pretty cool. You can have a watermark on or off and stuff like that. So nothing too special there in the video section. Up here in the photo section, if I can push the settings button, hold shutter button, got the HDR mode. That's about it. The same thing up here. It shows you can shoot in 3x4, 9x16. It's backwards for some reason, but yeah, 4x3, 16x9, 1x1, or full, and all that kind of stuff there. So not a whole lot going on here in the camera. Just kind of a standard thing. Records full 1080. Cameras look decent, as you've seen earlier. So yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this phone, okay? Retail price before it went on sale on Black Friday was, I think it was $249 at Walmart. And honestly, I want to stand by what I said earlier. This phone is definitely not worth $249. I think if you could pick it up for $99, you're getting it for a great deal for what you're getting, for the specs you're getting. You know, the display, I'll still say the display, the viewing angles are not very good. But if you're like watching the video, you know, and you're not got it completely tilted, then it's going to look fine. I mean, it's not AMOLED, but honestly, I mean, it looks good. It's not bad at all. Got your drop down here for all of your features. This phone does have NFC, has Dolby Atmos, focus mode, all that kind of stuff like that there. So, I mean, you know, the phone works. Is it worth $100? Absolutely. What would be the most I would pay for this phone? I would say for me, the most I paid for this phone is what the A20 cost when it came out. That was $149. I think $149 for this phone is a good price if it was to go off sale and go up to $149. But for $249 that came out originally for Straight Talk, no way in the world I would ever pay that amount for this phone, because it's just too much money for the specs you're getting and for what you're getting here. $150 was the price of the A20, but in my usage over the past 9 days, it's a fingerprint magnet. You can bet on that. Get you a case. You know, it has that nice little, I mean, it does have a nice look to it. It's black, but under lighting, it does have that little blue effect, and that looks really nice. So, is this phone so far a good phone to pick up? I would say, yeah. If you can get it for $100 to $150, I would say grab it. I would say it's a good phone. Battery life seems to be good. Camera seems to be pretty decent as well. But the phone, is pretty solid. Is the build quality feel solid? With these edges being rough on mine, I would say no. But throw a case on it and you're good to go. So I know it was kind of scattered around a little bit, but it wasn't a review. It was just giving you my thoughts over the past 7 to 9 days of using the Samsung Galaxy A21. I know it's a bit lengthy. I do apologize for that, and I know it was really scattered. Like I said earlier, if you want to see a gaming test with 3 or 4 different games, leave it below. I'll make it happen and all that kind of good stuff there. So if it's helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it below. Also, I upload every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so be sure and stay tuned. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notifications. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.